from here on. So last time we was talking about the concepts of oncogenes and about the tumor suppressors, and we will try to explore further about these things. I have also shared some examples that how a proto-oncogene is converted into an oncogene, and I have shared an example of point mutation, and then I have shared an example of translocation. I request you guys to please go and please see the details of the translocation, that from where the two chromosomes get attached with each other, and what is the reason behind this Philadelphia chromosome, this disease, and that Philadelphia chromosome causes a disease called CML, a very famous chronic myeloid leukemia. So please go into the details to see. And then I have explained you about the amplification, that how an amplification actually contributed in cancer, and also the translocation of a less active gene from a less active area into an active part. I can explain you the general understanding, and I request you guys to please proceed and go for a couple of videos like this. Okay, please, a couple of videos like this, and also more example about amplifications and translocations. Okay, last time I have shared an example of amplification with estrogen receptor gene. I hope that worked with you. Okay, so next is the slide of a cell cycle checkpoint, and that slide actually is required for us to understand that every cell, as I was explaining in my earlier class, every cell is designed to pass on the information that cell is carrying into the daughter cells. Now, how often a cell will going to produce the daughter cells? That depends on a lot of factors. How often a cell will going to produce the daughter cells? That depends on a lot of factors. It depends on the, most importantly, it depends on the cell type, that what type of cell that is we are talking about. And there are certain cells which are required to divide more often as compared to the other one, depending on the job that cell is carrying within the organism. So it means that whether a cell will going to divide in 20 minutes, or it will going to divide in 1 hour, it will going to divide in 1 day, or in few days, or in a month, it depends on the mechanism which is controlling the very famous term called as the cell cycle. So a cell cycle is traditionally is made up, or is consist of number one, the G1, number two is the S phase, third is called as the G2 phase, and the last but not the least is called as the M phase. This is the traditional cell cycle. G1 phase is somehow considered as a preparatory phase. Is a phase where a cell started growing itself. Cells appear after the cell division. So that this is the phase when a new daughter cell is created. And then it started growing. It increases its size, as well as it started developing its specific proteins and all the things which are required to execute the function of that cell. So the cell becomes specialized and started growing. There will be a time when this particular cell is will think, or the system will let this particular cell to think that whether it is proceed further for the cell division. There is another state called the G0 state. G0 state. If a cell is created, a daughter cell is created, and it is required to keep in that state for a longer period of time. So that cell then enters into another phase called the G0 phase. So G0 phase is a kind of phase where a cell do not proceed for the cell division. It stays there as it is, and whatever the proteins and characteristic features that cell has developed, the cell is start using those features and start doing the job. So whatever the job the cell is assigned, the cell will keep doing that job. So the cell is not supposed to divide in that G0 phase. So, but once the things are there, the cells receives enough signal, which I will be telling you, I will be explaining you. The cells commit to proceed for the cell division. Certain molecular mechanisms were going on behind this in this timeline during the process of G1 phase. There is an early G1 phase when the cell is just growing, and then there is a late G1 state when a certain molecular mechanisms or molecular signals are out there which pushes the cells slowly to commit for the cell division. I'm going to share some of them. Just look at the things and try to understand how we able to grab such diagrams better. You can see these things. These things are cyclin D here. You can see the CDK4. This is another cyclin, the cyclin 4 and 6. You can see the increase in the width of this thing. That means from the early G phase, from the early G1 phase, the levels of cyclin D, cyclin 4 and 6 are increased. The regular increase in the levels of these cyclins indicate that the cell is on the path of proceeding for the cell division. If the cyclins are not increased to a definite level, the cells will not proceed to the later G1 state, and it will stay somewhere here. If the levels of cyclin D as well as cyclin DK4 and 6 stays here, the cells will commit and enter into the G0 phase. But if the levels kept on increasing, the cell enters into its next phase, which is called as the late G1 phase, or a more committed phase to go for the cell division. Certain new things were happening here. The new things are, you can see, is the cyclin E and the cyclin DK2. So these two new markers appears here. You can see their levels, their amount increases over the period of time from here. And that is a very strong signal which we can use to feel that this cell is committed for the cell division. So when as a researcher, you want to confirm that whether a cell is committed to go for the cell division, you need to see the levels of cyclin E and cyclin CDK2 in those cells. What these things are doing, that is also an important point to understand. Well, these small molecular, the cyclins and CDK proteins, what these things are doing within the cell, you also need to know about their role. That is why you might be able to feel the exact happenings of the cells. As I explained in my earlier class, I'm just explaining it once again, that if a cell experiences a bad situation means the DNA damage, hypoxia, or injury. Hypoxia means when the cells are growing, when the cells are living together, they need oxygen from the environment, from the blood. They need food from the blood, from the system, and they use oxygen and food to stay alive, to grow and to do their jobs comfortably. When the cells started increasing their number, the first thing they experience is the lack of food and oxygen. If the food is present in abundance, if oxygen is available in abundance, how the oxygen is available in abundance? Think that if those cells are very huge in number and the blood, capillaries are somewhere here, it is easier to soak the oxygen from these blood capillaries by that cell. But it is not possible very easily to soak the oxygen by these innermost cells. So the innermost cells find it difficult to get the oxygen from the blood capillaries. So such cells which are present like deep within those cells started feeling hypoxic. They started feeling less amount of oxygen. And that is a state where such cells will started making mistakes. So if a cell is hypoxic, if a cell is not getting enough food or oxygen, that cell is not supposed to go for the cell division. You need to think in your mind one thing. Alternatively, if the DNA damage is there, that cell is also not supposed to go for the cell division. If the DNA damage is there, What happens after that, I have explained in my earlier lecture about DNA damage and repair. It triggers the DNA damage and repair pathway. Look at those proteins, the ATM, the ataxia, and the BRCA1, BRCA2. These are the proteins which are part of the system which which can fix the errors in our genome. So those proteins will try to fix the errors, and they also activate P53. Once the P53 is activated in the system, so what that means, I told you, as I shared, the cell will proceed or try to do two things. The first of the thing is that cell will activate P21. Activation of P21 means the cell will try to stop the cell cycle. I used that word in the earlier lecture. The cell will not go for the cell division. Now you can see at a molecular level how it is possible. The P53 activate the P21. Please stay with me. And P21 blocks the cyclin E. Look at that. It will blocks and stop the cyclin E. Now, once the cyclin E is removed from the system, the cell will not be able to make a commitment to go for the cell division. So that is how P53 pushes the cell not to go for the cell division. Alternatively, if the damage is not repaired, if the cell carries the hypoxic situation, or the injury is too much, or the genomic DNA is not repaired very well, in that case, the cell will go for the apoptosis. And that is the programmed cell death. The cell will be dead after that. And you know, it is because of the caspases after that. And I have shared that thing in the earlier lecture. So this is something we know. Now the P21 is not only blocks the cyclin E, the late G1 phase, it can also block the CDK4 and 6. So that means this is a very strong inhibitor. P21 is a very strong inhibitor of the cell cycle. So under whatever the circumstances, the P21 got activated, we can assume that the cell will not going to go for the cell division. And that there are other things you should be able to interpret at the same time, the P16, P17, P18, P19, and you can see MYC somewhere here. I told you about the MYC. You can see the MYC. MYC is activating the cyclin D. If the MYC is activating the cyclin D, you can guess that MYC protein is the one which helps the cells to go further and push the cell to go and enter into the late G1 phase, or to enter into a phase to go for the cell division. Here are certain other things. So these are the important factors you can see, and you might be able to relate those important proteins as well and their functions as well with respect to the cell cycle. And then you might want to know about the TGF beta, and you can see TGF beta activate the P27 that blocks the cell division. So all these things actually defines everything is fine. So think about a situation in a cell. If the food is fine, oxygen is fine, means no hypoxia, and there is no DNA damage over there, there is no cell injury, no P53, no DNA damage repair pathway, no P21, nobody is blocking the cell cycle, the cell will proceed to the next phase. And what is the next phase? And that is called the S phase. So there is a checkpoint between these two phases. We cannot actually clearly demarcate these two phases. Cells में कोई ऐसी clear line तो नहीं होती है, but somehow we can guess that these things are happening in the G1 phase, and synthesis primarily is happening in the S phase or synthesis phase. But there is a checkpoint between these two, and that is called as G1S checkpoint. It's a very famous. We can analyze, we can check that how many cells are there in the G1S phase. If the cells are, and this checkpoint or this phase is the phase where the DNA replication occurs. So if there is a one chromosome at the end of this phase, there will be, we will be able to have like two chromosomes. The genetic material present within the cell is duplicated during that phase. And that is a very strong commitment to go for the cell division. It's a very strong commitment. So the cell must have to verify everything, that everything is nice and fine, everything is set, the food is enough, there is a need for the cell division, no trouble out there within the cellular machinery. The cell can commit to go for the replication of DNA. And you can guess the replication of DNA, once it is committed, you cannot stop it. It's like once you started opening up, once the cell started opening up their genetic material, it started unwinding their genetic material. It's like a one-way process. It should be completed. It should start and then it should be finished properly. So for that period of time, the S phase, once it is started, there is no way we can stop this thing until the cell genetic material of the cell is duplicated. So now how we can figure this thing out? The synthesis or the synthesis phase or the S phase is characterized with the presence of cyclin A and then the CDK. So you will see a lot of CDK type of things, CDK 1, 2, 3, 4 type of things. You will see a lot of cyclins which are involved in the cell cycle process. And then there are certain inhibitors like P21, P27 and P57. Look at the P21 once again here. Did you remember? You saw the P21 somewhere else. You saw the P21 from here. So that P21 is also is also strong inhibitor that it can block the cyclin A as well, cyclin A and CDK as well. So if this is the one primary and strong cell cycle regulator, if the P21 is there, that means it will going to block the cells and push the cells not to commit for the cell division. And even if the cell S phase is there, it will slows down the S phase. It will resist the S phase and block the cells to stay in these two states. So the presence of P21 means the cell will stay where? Either in the G1 phase or in the S phase. It will not go beyond that phase. So this is sometimes we call as the cell will stall at the G1S phase because it does not pass all the criteria. And one of the strongest criteria is that it should not have a P21. Okay, so I'm sure you don't have any question. If you have, just feel free to stop me, okay, in between. The next is that the cell proceed from the S phase. If the duplication of the DNA occurs, cell proceed to the another phase which is called as the G2 phase. The G2 phase is characterized once again with the cyclin B and CDK. And once again, it is inhibited by the P21, P27 and P57. Who knows you are working on which type of the cell cycle regulator in the future? You might be working on P27, you might be working on P57 or P21 or P53. So in that case, you should be very much aware about the exact function of these important cellular markers, cell cycle markers. So if the cell is producing P53, the cell is still able to control the cell division. It's still able to block the cell division because P53 produces P21, we all know, and P21 can block the cyclins. It can also block the cyclin B and CDK and stop the cells to stick here to stay in the G2 phase. And then if everything is fine, nothing bad is there, the cell will enter into the very famous M phase. Look at the thing, it's a very small part of all the cell cycle. This M phase is the phase where cells go for the cell division, and that is called as the mitosis. You can divide this state into further, like in the first case, the nucleus got divided, and in the last phase, the two cells were created. The cytokinesis occur after that. So the 4 phases of mitosis, you know, it is there. So before the start of the mitosis, the cells once again analyze and see that everything is there. And one of the most important factor regulator is the P53. It should not be there. So the P53 is not there, cell can easily pass down or passed on that checkpoint as well. This checkpoint is called as G2M checkpoint. So either the cell is blocked at G1S or alternatively it can be stopped in the G2M checkpoints if something is bad. If everything is fine, cell enters into the mitosis and proceed further and go and produce the daughter cells. And then these daughter cells will repeat the same things once again. Somebody raise the hand, please ask your question because we don't have enough time, 3 minutes, so please ask your question.
सर मैंने आपसे पूछना था सर जो P21, 27 and the other genes जो हैं ये सारे ट्यूमर सप्रेसर के तौर पे एक्ट करते हैं
ये सारे ट्यूमर सप्रेसर्स के तौर पे एक्ट कर सकते हैं ओके
ओके सर थैंक यू
ओके एनीथिंग व्हिच कैन स्टॉप इट्स लाइक अ ब्रेक्स okay it's like a brakes Now you can think, if there is a cell which is dividing very faster, you can guess where those cells are living. In the hair follicle, those cells are living in our skin, those cells are living in the reproductive tract, those cells are living in the bone marrow, which are dividing very faster. If the cells are dividing very faster, you can guess which of those things are not there. You can guess which of those things are there. If the cells are dividing very faster, we can assume the cells are getting a lot of food and oxygen and no injury and no DNA damage, no DNA damage repair pathway activated, no P53, no P21. And so is the other things. The cell might be having a lot of cyclins. So whatever the things which are stopping the cyclins are not there. You can guess in the cellular system, that one of the cyclin is present here, the another cyclin is present there, the another cyclin is present there. So all the cyclins, like the things which can block those cyclins, are not there. The transcription factors which are activating the cyclins are there. So the transcription factors which can activate the cyclins are there. Cells will proceed and produce P21. It will produce P27. It will produce the P57. So nobody is stopping the cells to produce these things. And cells will going to produce the CDK1, CDK2, CDK4, CDK6, and all these things. And then it will go and commit for the cell division. Alternatively, there are some things which can block these cyclins. Okay, hope this explains the things. I need to explain a little bit more about this slide, and I will going to share in the next session. Okay, if there is another hand, Rubab is ready to ask a question. Ji Rubab, we have just last minute. Please ask.
सर मैंने ये पूछना है कि जैसे आपने बताया कि हमारा जो साइकिल है वो यहाँ से स्टार्ट हो रहा है G0 से और G1 से, तो फर्दर ऑन एस फेज से फिर आगे जा रहा है G2 फेज में। तो सर मैंने ये पूछना है कि जो सीधी के साइकिल है वो 4-6 पहले आ रहा है, बाद में 1-2 बाद में आ रहा है, मतलब उनकी ये जो सीक्वेंसेस है किस लिहाज से है,
आगे
मतलब
पीछे
मुझे
की
ये समझ
बोलिए,
नहीं
ठीक
आया
हो गया.
बस।
Okay, let me answer this question for in the next session. Okay, catch me in the next session.
ओके
अगर साइक्लिन ए को जो है वो इनहिबिट करता है उसकी प्रोडक्शन को, तो सेल हमारा अगर सिर्फ एस फेज में रह जाता है या इट्स स्टक इन एस फेज और वो G2 फेज में नहीं जाता, तो क्या वो अंडर को करता है डीएनए रेप्लिकेशन या फिर एक दफा करके स्टॉप कर देता है?
It's a very good question. Maybe Shabash. It's a very, very good question. That if a cell is stuck there in the S phase, what will happen? It's a chaos if a cell stuck right in during the replication process, right in the middle of replication. It's a chaos if the cell stuck, in between the process of mitosis. अगर सेल यहाँ पर स्टक हो जाए ये chaos है. अगर सेल यहाँ पर स्टक हो जाए chaos है. If cell stuck in the G1 phase, that is still fine. Staying in the G1 phase, the cell might be able to do the job, whatever the job is assigned to the cells. And for the execution of execution of the job, the G0 phase is there. The cell can stay in a non-dividing phase, and that is the G0. It makes sense. It's also called as quiescence state. Also called as quiescence. Cells can exit and then can go for the G1 phase whenever the supply of food is there, whenever the other things are there. But if a cell is stuck or like right in the middle of the synthesis, duplication of DNA, and it fails to proceed further, no enough food, enzymes are not there working, the cell will be dead after that. Okay, it will be dead, definitely dead. Same goes for the other things. So when a cell is like not working as a cell, you can guess when a cell do not exist as a cell. In the S phase, a cell is not exist as a cell. It is not executing its job. It is like diverting all the resources to go for the replication. So this is not the life we know. When the cell is acting or entering into the I must say into the G2 phase or into the mitosis phase, at that time the cell is not acting as a cell. It contains two nucleus, or it contains duplicated nucleus. It has duplicated DNA, sorry, in the G2 phase. It is dividing during the mitosis phase. It will not be able to execute the functions which were assigned to that cell. The cell is only able to execute the functions either in the G0 phase or if it is in the G1 phase. So if a cell stuck in these two phases, it will eventually be dead. It will eventually be dead because of the P21 and P53 it will go for the apoptosis. So you can consider yourself alive if you are here. So you are living. So all the cells you are carrying, if they are like in this phase, that means you are alive. And in this phase, the other side of the cell cycle, the cells are not doing the things they are supposed to do. So we are dead in this, as far as this portion is concerned. That cell is dead. That cell don't have a nucleus. That don't have a defined nucleus. That cells don't have specialized proteins in them. They are actually doing replication or preparing for the cell division and undergoing cell division. It's not involved in execution of the functions. So that will definitely be dead. And that's a good question. That what happens if somebody is stuck here? Okay, school. Rubab ka maine answer kar diya hai. I'm repeating that answer, that why the cyclins have different numbers and the numbers are not in sequence, because they are not discovered in sequence. Many proteins, when the people started working on them, they discovered and they started studying about their function. They came to know that they are related to the cell cycle. They are related to the cell cycle checkpoints. They started giving them a similar sort of names like cyclins or CDK. And the numbers was given, I believe, that is because of in order of their discovery or in order of their function they have discovered over the period of time. So there is no science in these numbers. Okay, all set. Any more question? Actually, I want to explain these things, the role of these things, how these things actually help and so. But I will explain this thing in the upcoming slide. These things will be there. All set. We can proceed further.